What's up guys, this is Bryce Van Hoosen. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out one hell of a guitar from my friends over at Jackson. This is the new for 2025 RR24 from the American Series. The American Series Randy Rhoads. Yeah, look at that. This one is in matte army green. Beautiful color. All right, so let's hear this thing in action. We'll check out the little demo song that I wrote inspired by this guy, and then I'll come back and give you my thoughts. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, that's honestly really all I can say about this guitar. That's my short review. If you turn the video off right now, that's what you'll get from me. Before we get too far into it, I just want to thank the fine folks over at Zounds for sending me this guy to check out. I don't get to keep it, I gotta send it back, so, you know, not really a sponsored video, but they were kind enough to let me borrow this, so if you are a broke, credit-impaired musician like myself, man, check out Zounds. Hit them up. They got 6-month, 12-month, 18-month payment plans on all of the coolest gear, and they don't check your credit, so, you know, you're not signing up for anything, you're not paying any interest, man, that stuff, it kills you. So, you know, support people like Zounds who are doing the right thing, hooking up musicians with the gear that they need without charging them an extra fee on top like so many credit companies are these days. Yeah, really appreciate what Zounds is doing for the overall marketplace. You can check out my guitar gear sanctuary by clicking the link in the description. That'll basically take you to everything that I got in my studio here, including this RR24 American Series Rhoads. Click that link, man. I get a small commission, so it really does help support the channel. And if you are truly broke, but you still want to support, click that affiliate link in the description for guitartricks.com and sign up for a free 2-week trial to guitartricks.com. It helps me out. I make a small commission even on the free trial. Costs you absolutely nothing. And, you know, you'll get to learning some cool licks and tricks on the instrument. And, you know, really, that's what it's all about. Gear will only make you sound so good. If you don't have the skills to wield said gear, yeah, you're kind of fucking up, man. All right, so quick note about the signal chain for that demo that we just heard. I am obviously playing this American Series Jackson RR24 Rhoads in army green because green is the best sounding color, as I found out. We got 2 Seymour Duncans in here. That is going into my pedal board, which I am boosting the front of the amps that I am using with the Obsidian Audio Devil overdrive pedal, which is my favorite overdrive pedal, so shout out to Taylor for that. Also using a Boss CE5, what is that? Yeah, the CE5. I don't even know the names of these things, man. Jeez, what am I doing here? The CE5, the chorus ensemble, just to kind of give things a little bit of a, you know, wider, cooler sound, a little more 80s. And from there, we're going into a couple different amplifiers. Amp 1 that you're hearing is this Fryette Pitbull CL100. And that is going into the Fryette power station where I'm tamping down the volume just a little bit. Also, for the other track, you are hearing the Friedman IRX just going into the power station power amp style. So yeah, man, definitely again, another cool thing that I got from Zounds, and you'll see a video on that one pretty soon, but yeah, that thing rules. And the cabinet that I'm using is an old 1987 Marshall 1960 cabinet with vintage 30s in there from 1999. I got it mic'd up with a single SM57 going straight into my Universal Audio Apollo interface and then recording onto Reaper. So for effects, you are hearing some delay coming from the Eventide H90. Love that thing, as well as the Boss RV6 reverb. So yeah, man, keep things spacey. All right, so the star of the show, man, the American Series Jackson Rhoads RR24, 24 frets. Yeah, this thing is just an absolute beast of a guitar. When I got it in the box and I pulled it out of the case, you know, there's just weight to it. It feels dense. It feels like a really quality instrument, just through and through. I can't really put into words why I'm getting that impression. No, it's not because I'm a paid shill or just an absolute Jackson fanboy, which I am, a Jackson fanboy, not a paid shill. It just feels like a premium level instrument that the team over there put a lot of love and craftsmanship into. I can't fault anything on the actual fit or finish. You know, that's not necessarily the same as some of the import guitars that we get from Jackson. You know, there'll always be kind of, you know, something just a little off, a little bit wonky on an import guitar. Even my beloved 2011 Japanese Jackson King V Elite had some, you know, kind of some weird stuff out of the box that I ended up having to fix. This thing, so far from what I see, has absolutely none of that. Everything is just perfect from the outset. And I didn't get a special guitar hand-selected from the finest heap of RR24s from Fender like I usually do. This was just sent to me from Zounds, from whatever they had in stock at the time. So, you know, you can, somebody will get this exact guitar. And yeah, man, it's pretty much perfect. All right, so in terms of specs, we've got a maple neck through design here, and this thing feels dense. It feels, you know, it feels quality. There's a lot of wood there. It's it's like a Louisville Slugger. Like you could, you know, hit a baseball, you know, hit a homer on this guy. It's just that dense feeling. And then we got alder wings. These also feel, you know, like they selected some really nice pieces of alder for the wings. It's nice, it's weighty, definitely a, you know, just all in all, like really dense pieces of wood that went together to form this thing. We got an ebony fretboard. The ebony is kind of the sort of blonde streaked variety, which I don't hate. There's different kinds of ebony that you'll get. Some folks I know don't like that. They like the, you know, darker black, none more black variety of ebony. Doesn't really bother me. And also, again, it feels really, really dense. Just everything about this feels like it doesn't feel like a toy or anything like that in your hands. It just feels like a real serious instrument. And for good reason. It's fairly, you know, it is an American-made guitar, so it runs at an American-made price. All right, and then we got mother of pearl, real mother of pearl inlays, none of that mother of toilet seat or whatever the kids are calling it these days. They look fantastic. Lovely, lovely inlays. Stainless steel frets that feel absolutely perfect. No sharp ends or anything like that popping off here, so that's great. We also have Godot locking tuners, right, if you can see that, which is a mod that I have been making on a lot of my Jacksons pretty much, I don't know, since like 2017, 2016, something like that. Why put locking tuners on a guitar that has a locking nut? I've covered this in some of the other videos that I made, but it's just pure laziness, man. That's all it is. It's so much easier to restring an instrument with locking tuners than the ones that you have to, you know, get a string winder out and do all that kind of crap with it. It's just way easier. Kudos for that small little detail. That's it's awesome to see. You'll love to see it. We already got the wrench holder on there. I don't have any wrenches in here yet. I'm honestly kind of scared to death of nicking this thing since the finish is just absolutely immaculate. Look at that matte green. Awesome. All right, moving on down to the electronics pickups. We got Seymour Duncans in here, pretty standard fare. We have a JB in the bridge, and I believe that's a 59 in the neck. We got Lumenlay side dot markers. Forgot to mention that when I was talking about the specs of the neck. But we got those so you can see your frets on a dark stage, because if you're like me, you know, you just started playing guitar yesterday and have no idea where you are unless you're constantly looking at your hand. But those are there. They come in really handy on a dark stage, I can say from experience. All right, we got a single volume, a single tone, three-way toggle switch. They even put kind of the classy sort of toggle switch tip that I always associate with USA-made Jacksons, so that's cool. That's just a little bit of an Easter egg for us Jackson aficionados. If you know, you know. And then we also have, and I love this, we got the bottom of the neck spoke wheel truss rod adjustment thingy, whatever you want to call it. I don't really quite know what the scientific name for this guy is, but basically, you know, you don't have to fiddle with like taking off a truss rod cover at the headstock, and instead you can kind of just put an Allen wrench in there and adjust your truss rod as you would see fit. I don't imagine that you'll need to do a lot of adjustments with this guy, because I do believe we have graphite reinforced truss rods in here, which is great. Let me tell you from experience, going from the Pacific Northwest where I am to say somewhere like Texas or Southern California, Arizona, those big changes in temperature can really do a number on your setup, especially when you have a guitar that's sitting in the back of a truck or a trailer or what have you for 8 hours, just kind of baking in the sun. So yeah, you know, having that graphite reinforced truss rod to keep things nice and stable. And, you know, when the elements are truly horrendous and you do have to make those adjustments, just making it as easy as possible, man. Just gonna save you so much time when you're going from the van to the stage and, you know, don't have a whole lot of chill out time to properly set up your guitar. All right, moving on. We got Dunlop strap locks here, which is great. And then we do have the brushed black metal cavity covers, which are just great and fancy. And you know that you got a premium instrument when you get the black metal ones and not the plastic ones, which work. They're fine, but the brushed black metal, just a little bit nicer. All right, and then the bridge, we of course have the Floyd Rose, what is it called? The 1500, which is basically the Floyd Rose 1000 with the push-in arm, the superior Floyd Rose arm, the push-in one. It's the best one they have, along with stainless steel hardware. So all of the string lock screws, the saddle screws, and the nut clamp screws are all stainless steel, so. Let's hear this one raw and unfiltered going through the Fryette Pitbull over here. right, so final verdict on this guitar, man. I love it, in case you couldn't tell. But yeah, it's a killer instrument. It feels like it's definitely a high quality premium instrument that you have, and it's awesome to see, you know, just a standard line of American Series guitars being made down in California, coming from the good old US of A, and you know, to get the cool, you know, extreme pointy shapes that we got here, right? Just like our Lord and Savior Randy Rhoads intended. So I will address the one kind of elephant in the room, and that is with the Floyd Rose 1500, which is not the original Floyd Rose. It's the step below, right? The made in Korea one. So some of the criticism that I have heard has been, you know, because this is a USA made guitar, and, you know, most USA guitars are right around the $3,000 mark. Even if you go so far back as the 50s when the Fender Stratocaster was introduced, I think it was like $250 with a case, which comes out to be about $3,000 these days with inflation, all of that kind of stuff. So $3,000 is usually the going rate for a USA-made instrument, but the perception that folks have of putting sort of the 1500 series Floyd Rose on there, which is not the premium bridge. I can definitely see how some folks, especially folks who are dropping, you know, close to $3,000 on a guitar, would have maybe some qualms about that, right? Because, you know, you want to buy the best instrument that you can for the money. We're not trying to spare any sort of expense here. Otherwise, we would just buy maybe like a $1,500 import, right? A Pro Series guitar, which also has the 1000 series bridge on it, the same series as this one. So yeah, I do kind of understand that. Is the 1500 or the 1000 series, is it worse than the original Floyd Rose? I don't know. I haven't used a 1000 series Floyd Rose enough to be able to tell that it's going to have the same kind of issues as, say, like a Floyd Rose Special, or that the old school licensed Floyd Rose bridges would have had back in the day. All I can say is that the perception of having a lower level guitar with the same bridge as the higher level guitar, yeah, I can see how some people would have some qualms about that, for sure. I do know that there were probably a couple advantages to using the 1000/1500 series Floyd Rose bridge. One of which, you know, the most pragmatic of those, is that the nut for the 1000 series is the only one that actually comes in this 12-inch radius. If you look at the nut for the original Floyd Rose before they moved everything from Germany to America, the nut, it was a 10-inch radius. So you put a 10-inch radius nut on a fretboard that starts at 12-inch, right? It's not a great experience, and this comes from somebody who has put the original Floyd Rose nut on a Jackson thinking that I was doing the right thing and, you know, upgrading to the premium components. Yeah, it wasn't awesome. So the 1500 or the 1000 series nut, way better than the original Floyd Rose. Who cares about what materials it's made from? It just fits better and it feels better, and anything that feels and plays better, I think, is gonna ultimately sound better in the end. That being said, for the bridge, right, if we're talking about a company like Fender who owns Jackson, I am betting that they bought a bunch of the 1000 series from Floyd Rose. And they did it probably before Floyd Rose had finished moving their entire production manufacturing setup from Schaller in Germany to USA, wherever they're based now. Because they did recently do that, and I know that that caused quite a bit of internal turmoil over at Floyd Rose. It took them a bit of time to get the bridges back up and running and to start pumping them out into stores. If you remember, you know, a couple years ago, right, they were sold out everywhere. You couldn't find a 1984 Floyd Rose bridge to save your life unless you were, you know, to sell a kidney and to pay like $600 or something to get it from like Germany or wherever. But people took note and they really did jack up the price on those things. So now Floyd Rose is back. They're in the USA. I'm sort of hoping that we can see, you know, a USA edition of the Floyd Rose be added to the American Series Jacksons in the future. Time will tell if that happens, or at least, I don't know, you know, maybe we could do like a Godo or something like they do with the Japanese models, right? We got the Godo tuners on this. Maybe we could do a Godo bridge as well. Is it better than the 1500, the Godo? Again, I don't know. It's just perception, right? We're thinking about weird, squishy stuff in human psychology. So I think that it might go over better with some of the naysayers who are out there. That being said, this is a fantastic premium instrument. And I can say after having spent a couple weeks with this thing that it just feels it just drips with that Jackson mojo for sure. And when you pick it up, you feel it, you hold it in your hands, you put it on a strap and wear it around. Definitely, it's got a bit of weight to it, and it just feels like, I don't know, man, it feels like a quality instrument. So definitely something that I'm going to be adding to the arsenal in the future because, yeah, man, love it. Love it. Great guitar. Let me know your thoughts. Have you tried an American Series Jackson? They've been pumping these out for the past couple of years. So they also have some of the Strat shapes, the Dinky, the Soloist. They've done a few of them. Have you had a chance to play one? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the latest offering from Jackson in the American Series, the RR24. You gonna get one? If you do, use my sounds link, please, for the love of God. All right, I am Bryce Van Hoosen, and I will see you again on the next one.